Welcome back to Feedback here on The Voice, WEEU, and online, WEEU.com. The sky-high property taxes, they keep going up. That's why we're talking about it today on Feedback. We're here at Boyer's Floor Covering on the Kutztown Road in Laureldale. EyesOnPA.com is sponsoring this special event on school property tax elimination bills. That's EyesOnPA.com. We're also speaking with Jim Rodkey, chairman of Lebanon912.com, and David Baldinger, webmaster of the Pennsylvania Taxpayers Cyber Coalition, PTCC.us. And David, what do we need to know about House Bill 1189?
Well, we've had all this great talk this morning about House Bill and Senate Bill 76 and what it can do. There is one cloud on the horizon, and that's House Bill 1189. It was introduced by York Representative Seth Grove and is nothing more than a distraction to try to kill HB 76 in the House. It's in the House Finance Committee right now, and briefly what it calls for is a local tax shift from property taxes to either an earned income tax, a mercantile tax, or a gross receipts tax on merchants. This same approach has been tried before 3 times. Act 50 and Act 72, when it was left to the discretion of the school boards to enact it, and Act 1, the referendum in 2007, where the voters in each school district could decide whether or not to do a partial shift to an earned income tax. Act 50 and Act 72 was rejected by school boards across the state. Act 1 was rejected in 494 of 498 school districts across the state. It is a proven fact on 3 different occasions that local tax shifts don't work, and it's not what people want. Yet the House Republican majority is going to try to shove this bill through committee to try to derail HB 76. And what I'm going to say to the listeners is, if you want total property tax elimination, you have got to get on your representatives and let them know to reject House Bill 1189. Don't even let it see the light of day. The beautiful part about this bill for a politician is that they can enact this legislation. The guys in Harrisburg can say, oh, look, we gave you property tax relief. When it gets to the local school board level and the school boards don't enable it, politicians in Harrisburg can say, hey, we gave you the property tax relief. Not our fault that the school boards didn't enable it. It's a political ploy to try to kill HB 76. We have got to stop it in its tracks now. And I'm very passionate about this. The majority leadership in the House in Harrisburg is trying to kill this bill in any way they can, and 1189 is what they're trying to shove out of committee. And even worse, last week, House Majority Leader Mike Turzai signed on to that bill as a co-sponsor, which tells us everything we need to know. He's not on 76.
So it's a decoy. HB 1189, that is not user-friendly. SB 76 and House Bill 76, those are the bills that we should, and by the way, those also are for businesses as well. We didn't even mention businesses today. We start with the primary residence and then go to businesses, or businesses included from the get-go?
It eliminates all the property taxes for every entity. The uniformity clause of the Pennsylvania Constitution says that all entities in the same taxing body must be taxed at the same rate. To try to separate businesses and residences with different tax rates can't be done without a constitutional amendment. That also has been tried on 3 different occasions and has gone nowhere. If we're going to eliminate, we eliminate for everybody. But it's not just the case of the constitutionality of it. The Independent Fiscal Office report that was issued on September 12th of last year said unequivocally that eliminating for businesses would help to attract businesses to Pennsylvania. Right now, we are ranked 49th in the nation in job growth and business friendliness. We could erase that in a moment by enacting HB 76. We do it right now with Keystone Opportunity Zones, giving targeted tax breaks to businesses to come here and make jobs for Pennsylvania. Make the entire state a KOZ. Make us business friendly. Welcome.
On our newsmaker line, State Representative Jerry Knoll is joining us right now. Representative Knoll, thanks for making some time for us. What are your thoughts on House Bill 76, Senate Bill 76? Good morning.
Well, good morning, and I want to commend you as well as the entire team who are taking such a proactive
Gillen on hold
on House Bill 76. Real quickly, I want to say that Representative Tobosh has asked me to tell you that he tried to call in earlier, was unable to get through. Representative Tobosh is very supportive of House Bill 76. He is in a hearing down in the Philadelphia area, a House hearing, and it's on a bill. It's on one of his bills, so he had no choice but to be there and participate, but he certainly is very supportive of House Bill 76. I want to also take the time to thank Jim Cox, as well as Dave Argel, and Tom Calpin-Jerome, because I know personally the effort that they are putting into this very important piece of legislation. and they are certainly to be commended for taking the lead. And Dave, I just listened to David, and I know the passion that he and guys like Rich Shucker and many other people have on this bill. And I thank all of these grassroots groups for what they're doing, because that indeed is such a key element to being certain that this legislation gets onto the floor, gets through the Senate onto the floor, and then gets signed into law by the governor. What I can tell you is that the vast majority, and I'm talking about vast majority of the people that I represent, requested that I get on as a co-sponsor, which I have, and they strongly support the Property Tax Independence Act. They are very supportive of it. I think the point, and I know the point that David is making, is the goal remains and needs to continue to remain the total elimination of this hated tax. And it is a hated tax. Whether it be doing door to door, or whether it be a breakfast or a luncheon or a dinner, the people that I represent in both northern Berks and Schuylkill counties want to see this tax go away. I think that the more dialogue we have on this issue, the better it is for all of us. And I listened earlier, and I apologize for not being able to come down. I just came out of a ribbon cutting here in the district of a company that is opening up, and I thought it was important to be there. I wish I could have joined you, but when you see, as Tom Kelton-Jerome said, when you see the sheriff's sale list in the paper, and you realize that people are losing their homes, you realize that no tax should leave anyone homeless. And that's exactly what's happening here. And we need to just continue to, the bottom line is, if we get to 26 and we get to the magic number in the House, of 102, I think that sends a clear message to all of our leadership. And that is that, this is something that needs to be done. This is for the betterment of not only the people that I represent in the 124th, but the entire Commonwealth. So now if you have any questions, I would be more than happy to answer them.
Well, tell you what, Representative Knoll, thank you very much for checking in. We do have some other representatives that want to get in, but my final thought would be you're pretty optimistic that either the Senate or the House, we're going to be able to get this out in the fall. You guys are returning on, Monday, September 23rd. I know there's going to be a big rally, Filibust 2, on the 24th up there in Harrisburg. You're pretty confident they can get it out of committee this fall?
Well, what I'm saying is, if we don't get it done within the next year or so, I'm afraid it's never going to happen.
Okay.
So what
now's the time.
is, we need to get this done, and I think we have a good chance of getting it done.
Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for checking in today, Representative Knoll.
Thank you to all of you guys.
You bet. Appreciate the call. Is State Representative Mark Gillen. Hey, Mark, thank you for making some time for us today here. There's some people here who are behind you, Mark.
I greatly appreciate that. Brennan, I'm up in Monroe County, have a labor and industry meeting up there, and prevailing wage is certainly germane to the discussion with regards to property tax elimination, getting some of our costs under control. But if I could just take 45 minutes, Mike, thank you. 45 seconds.
There you go.
Raise the voice of the movement. Mike Faust. Let's give it up for Mike Faust right now.
You know that by now.
I talked to a gentleman recently who's an immigrant to the United States from a communist country. He talked about the tyranny of the property tax because of the power to make him homeless, and he felt like he was absent of a fundamental freedom. So I will say to those in leadership that are blocking this, tear down the wall that keeps renters from becoming homeowners. Tear down the wall that evicts seniors on fixed incomes from their homes. Tear down this wall that denies true home ownership. We need to tear down this wall, that property tax wall that damages the American dream. I like to say, as a member of the Veterans Affairs Committee, we need to tear down that property tax wall that throws patriots who are willing to die for their country and who fought for our freedom out of their homes. Friends, at a personal level, and I'll close with this and make time for somebody else. As a dad, I would like my children, and I think they'll be arriving there shortly, to have the option to stay in the area, not being driven out by high property tax. As a husband, I would like to be able to improve my home without a visit from the assessor's office to then penalize us, our family, for improving our residents. And finally, as a neighbor, as a member of the community, we want stable neighborhoods, and home ownership is an anchor of that stability. So God bless you, Mike. Thanks for all you're doing, and I'm so pleased to hear about a wonderful turnout.
Thank you, Mark. There's the support for Representative Gillen and House Bill 76, Senate Bill 76. We got to take our final break of the morning. I know, what happened? The time goes quick. Time flies when you're having fun, Rich.
Sure does.
But we've got more. We've got some things to talk about. You're going to talk about the math. You're Rich the numbers guy.
That's
You've
right.
got some
I'm going to be
interesting
talking about the factual math.
You've got the facts, you've got the stats, and we'll do that when we come back. 610-374-8800, 1-800-323-8800. We have some other callers we want to get to as well. We've got more from Boyer's Floor Covering on the Kutztown Road in Laureldale. Stay with us.